hit that. Hold on, wait. I don't have game audio, but you guys do, and I don't like that. All right. Uh, yeah, he actually does. All right, so continuing where the fuck we left off at. Also, honestly, I'm gonna be real. I've been playing this game all stream, kind of a lot, and all of this really is side stuff here, like all of the extra like organizations and stuff. So I'm primarily gonna focus on like this, and this, like all this other side shit. It's too much. It's way too much. Now you know you didn't see that, bro. Come on, since you want to be nosy, nigga. Oh, it's two of them right there. What is this? It's all right. So like here's my biggest issue with this game. So far, boss fights don't feel like boss fights. For one, they kind of feel like an afterthought. And then like a lot of the quests, I feel like about the other organizations, they kind of feel like whatevery. It's like, to put it the best way I could think of, it's like it's too much content, not enough proper direction of content. That's what it feels like. Oh shit, that's right. This is supposed to be a little your thingy things. Forgot about that fact. Yeah, it's kind of like the problem with like a lot of AAA studios, realistically speaking. Too many fucking people in the goddamn kitchen. You know, when everyone has a say so, no one has a say so. And that's how it really feels. Like other than that, like the game still feels, you know, fun enough to play. But like, is it a game that I will leave and remember 6 months down the line, or even 3 months down the line? Probably not, if I'm gonna be honest. Where the fuck am I going again? Oh yeah, this way. And that's kind of like where I stand on this game in particular. But at the same time, I feel like it's really hard for like AAA games to be really memorable at this point because of like everything else around it, you know? I can't climb this because it definitely looks like I can climb this. I'm technically going the wrong way anyways. And there's like trying trying to think of like how I would want to word it, you know? But that kind of feels like the problem with like AAA gaming currently. It feels like outside of like, you know, shareholders and obviously the higher ups, you know, meddling and getting in the fucking way. With dev teams being so large, it's just too many people with opinions. And I kind of feel like games would benefit more, especially AAA, by having smaller dev teams because it's easier to manage. Easier to manage, less opinions, less of everyone trying to get their say so in, less of, you know, I don't want to say less ideas being thrown into the game or something like that, because that feels like it would be stepping back, but like it would be less of the current issues I feel like they have. Yeah, but Nintendo is also worse off because, yeah, sure, some of their games may be, you know, fantastic and all that, but like, look at fucking Legend of Zelda is probably like the best example I can think of, realistically speaking, in more recent times. Like, look at fucking Breath of the Wild and then look at its sequel. Literally just the same fucking game. You know, it's straight up the same game. So like even Nintendo is falling behind on that. Like Mario Kart. Mario Kart is gonna be like the same Mario Kart that you've been playing for like the last 30 years. You know? But they want to charge you like $85 for it now. That's the only difference. Is that they want to charge you more for it. So like now it's really getting to the point where it's really hard to find like a AAA dev that does actually give a shit, you know? What? That didn't even make sense. What the fuck are you looking over here for? What? Oh, that's why. Okay. All right. Reset that, because I don't know why that even happened to begin with. As long as I'm not one in the area, it's fine. Yeah, like it's kind of ass because like the most experimental shooter I feel like we had in a very long time was Splatoon, realistically speaking. It's so problematic. Okay, first of all, you gotta die because I don't even know why you even looked over there to begin with. Which one of you fucking losers got my kunai? Wait, what happened to the body that was there? Bro. All right, fuck it, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of wish things were a little bit different. Cause like, yeah, sure, I'm not the biggest fan of a few of Nintendo's like some of their more recent consoles, like, you know, the Wii was dog water, to be real here. But what the fuck? I know this nigga is not coming up here. First of all, I don't like you moseying the fuck around. And I don't like you being too damn nosy. What? Stay over now. But yeah, like the Wii U was like a fucking terrible console. The Switch, I think the Switch is fine, but it's just like I personally don't have a reason to, you know, purchase it. So that's kind of like a me problem. It's not really a them problem. But then like the Switch 2 doesn't do shit. Like there's no like I don't see a reason for me to go out and buy a Switch 2. Because if I buy a Switch 2, all I'm doing is just paying for overpriced, mediocre ass fucking Nintendo games. At least that's how I currently feel right now. Like I don't see anything that they announced for the Switch 2 really that really catches my eye that makes me going to, you know, go buy a Nintendo Switch. Outside of, you know, probably there we go. Outside of like probably Metro Prime 4, right? But at that point, I might as well just go ahead and emulate it. If I'm just gonna be getting it for, you know, one game, I learned my lesson last time. Bro, how is these niggas' bodies disappearing? All right. Enough, nigga. Oops. I wanted to press this. But like probably, you know, for other people, the Switch 2 will probably be like a good purchase if you know. If you didn't buy the first Switch. It's just that I personally don't see much of a reasoning outside of like, you know, Metro Prime 4. And I think that's like the only reason why I would even consider buying it, but the likelihood of me buying it is, you know, pretty fucking slim right now. Oh, I can just go up here. What's up here? Okay. Oh, that nigga sleep on the job anyways. Like the main thing I don't like about the Switch 2 is the fact that like the only thing the Switch 2 has to offer is to play like a bunch of old games that I already played on previous consoles. But now I can just play them on the go. But technically speaking, I can already do that if I had got a Steam Deck. You fucking exit out of that? It's like they announced all those games. They're like, hey man, it's the Switch 2. You can finally play Elden Ring on the go. And it's like, no, we've been able to do that for quite some time, bro. I don't know if you realize this, but like we've been able to play Elden Ring on the go since the Steam Deck came out. So like why would I pay for like, why would I buy a Switch 2 to do that and play the game less optimized than it is on the Steam Deck? You know, like I just don't see a purpose in it. So I guess. What the fuck? Ah. Hello? Nah, bro. What is going on? I mean, well, at least he's dead, I guess. Man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna be real. I never thought I would say this, but like, I'm actually concerned for a lot of like Nintendo's first party games. Like, I'm actually a little concerned. Not gonna lie, not fucking with Nintendo anymore. Man, the last Nintendo console I bought was a Wii U, and I sent that bitch back. So that goes to show how I currently feel about it. What the fuck? It's like, I'm not saying like the Wii was like a perfect console, you know what I'm saying? I don't think, honestly, I don't think Nintendo has had a perfect console since the console had Nintendo. But, you know, that's just me. But I do feel like they had better options, you know. What the fuck is he coming over here for? What the fuck? What the fuck? Hold on, wait. No. This is acting like really funky. Let me fucking. Too many weird things happening already. I found myself saying "what the fuck" way too many times. So that makes me feel like there's something off. Oh my god, this is where you put me? Okay, that's like all the way to fuck up there. Okay. This isn't too bad, but I definitely left a little baffled. Oh, this guy's back. Okay, cool. Yeah, but it's like how much further can you really push like Pokemon, you know? Okay, now he dies properly. What the hell was going on before? How about you push to 60 FPS for starters? You already active too much for him, man. You know how Nintendo is, bro. They want to be behind. And I don't understand their obsession with being behind if they're not pushing anything forward. Like, that's my you know what? This goes back to the Final Fantasy shit too, which is also very frustrating because I hate the fucking Final Fantasy fan base. Well, not really the Final Fantasy fan base. I hate the Final Fantasy visitors. I think it's a little bit more accurate to say that because like dumb the niggas. Can I kill? Hell no, I can't kill. Oh my god. No one cares? No one cared. Brother, you're going the wrong way. Nani? Oh my god, bro. Why? Hello? I might need to take that off now because they make it work like every single time. So that means they actually. I hate to say this, but I kind of wish they didn't fix that. I kind of wish they didn't fix that actually. Can I get my eagle vision? Jesus Christ, video game. That would have been, this would have been great if I can actually kill every single one of them like that, but shit. But yeah, as I was saying, like, I feel like a lot of people are just too focused in on like their nostalgia more than anything else. And I feel like is literally destroying a lot of things in AAA gaming for sure. But you know, what do I know? I was just the guy that plays video games. Okay, that makes sense. Cause like, for example, right? Expedition 33 just came out, right? Came out yesterday? Today? I don't know. I just know I don't have the money for it. And when you don't have the money for it, when it releases, it doesn't even fucking matter to you. But Expedition 33 just came out, right? And already there's like people on fucking Twitter going, man, this game is what Final Fantasy could be if Final Fantasy was good and turn-based. And it's like, nigga, Final Fantasy hasn't changed since I don't know when, bro. Like, it's not like Final Fantasy actually, like, you know, stopped being good. When was the last time Final Fantasy was bad? Like, all the way back in Final Fantasy 2, and that's because of how different it was in comparison to Final Fantasy at the time. Like, everything else about that game is totally fine. There's some things, you know, that obviously needed a bit more time in the oven, but like, that's every single Final Fantasy damn near, because all of them do something different. And what the fuck are you looking at, bro? I wish. Lock on, and yeah, I knew it. I was like, something's not right here, because I know there's more people here. Like, that's not even the real problem that I have. The real problem that I have is that turn-based never fucking left. Turn-based never left. It's not like, what you being nosy for, bro? It's not like fucking 2010 came around and all of a sudden there was like no more turn-based RPGs. You know what I'm saying? Even Final Fantasy didn't fully commit to being action until Final Fantasy 16. 16. Like, what are we talking about? And that's just in the mainline series. You know, in the mainline series, Final Fantasy didn't fully commit to being action until Final Fantasy 16. Because for whatever dumbass reason, they tried to please everybody in Final Fantasy 15 by introducing that wait mode stuff, and I think wait mode was fucking terrible. That's just me. I don't think wait mode was like a good middle ground for them to, you know, partake in. Personal opinion. Some people may like it. I personally don't. Alright, fuck it. Not this man going to get high ground. You can't say this nigga, it's too late. Talking about 12? No, I'm talking about like Final Fantasy in general hasn't really changed since like fucking forever. I don't think there's a single Final Fantasy game personally that's actually bad. But a lot of people are bitching and moaning because like another turn-based game came out. Well, 15 had wait mode. 12 is still technically turn-based, kinda, but you can change it to active. Just like every single Final Fantasy game that ever came out after fucking what, 4? I think 4 was like the first time they switched over to like the ATB system. So like ever since Final Fantasy 4, you can play active mode. You don't have to do wait. You don't have to do like traditional turn-based combat. You can switch it over to active. So like, I don't understand what the complaint is, because Final Fantasy 15 is just like every other Final Fantasy in the past if you really fucking think about it based on that information alone. But for some dumbass reason, people act like Final Fantasy has been action since like, I don't know, Final Fantasy 9. And it's annoying as hell because it's like, bro, you know good and damn well that Final Fantasy hasn't changed until 16. That was the only time it ever made like a full commitment to the change. And then immediately after that, they did a hybrid. So like, what are you crying about? If anything, Final Fantasy should be like the only fucking franchise that you should ever really be looking at to be doing any changes for real. Because they built their whole Final Fantasy brand off of being different, off of changing every single Final Fantasy game ever. You can't play a single Final Fantasy game that plays like the other. You can't, because they're all different. It's impossible. So it's like, I don't understand what the bitching and moaning is for. Also, Final Fantasy 12 is fucking amazing. I've been playing that a lot off stream. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And I finally got to the midpoint of that game where I can actually do sub jobs, because, you know, like I've been playing it more and more, and the more I play it, the more I realize it literally is Final Fantasy 11 offline. I know I've been saying it for like a very long time that Final Fantasy 12 is this Final Fantasy 11 offline, but it really is Final Fantasy 11 offline. Like, it's not even funny how much the two games are alike. Hey, the cop that Sunday, wait till it's on sale, because right now it's like $50, and I don't think Final Fantasy 12 is worth $50. I'm not saying that it's not, you know, not a good game or anything like that, but it's like, it's a game that's like fucking damn near 10 years old, if not 10 years old at this point. Like, I honestly, every single Final Fantasy game that's currently out, except for 16, I really can't endorse anybody paying full price for it. Like, I can't. Just wait till it's on sale. Stop looking, nigga. Yeah, Final Fantasy 11 was like, that game was bad, bro. It's 19. Yeah, it's not even remotely close to like 50. And that's just a re-release of Final Fantasy 12. So it's really not worth it at $50. Technically $55 if you do tax. Yo, Tarkus, appreciate the gift and subs to my man SquallNoctis, aka the Big Jack. What's going on, Tarkus? But like, Final Fantasy 11 was far too good. Final Fantasy 11 has like ultimately ruined my experience of like every other Final Fantasy, low key, because it's just like, why isn't this Final Fantasy like Final Fantasy 11? That game fucked up the experience for so many other games, in my opinion. Like, any game that has a job system, I was just like, dude, where's the sub job system? It's like, bro, where's the sub job system? Where is it at? I don't need it, but it elevates the game so much. Such a drastic change. One small, simple mechanic drastically changes the game. What the hell? There we go. That was weird. Like, the main reason why I had to stop with MMOs, RPGs, not enough time in my life to commit to the grind. That's why I'm kind of appreciative of Final Fantasy 14, because it doesn't have that large time consumption in it in comparison to like Final Fantasy 11. Like if you play Final Fantasy 11, bro, you're working a part-time job, okay? You're not playing that game for the fun of it, realistically speaking. You like, yeah, you'll have fun, but everything is so time consuming in Final Fantasy 11 that you're literally just playing your job. That's pretty much what you're doing. You're just playing your job. Because it requires so much. Like 14 is cool because like you can hop on 14. Like let's say that you feel like playing 14, right? You can hop on 14 right now and you can do anything in 14 that you want to do, but you're not like time constricted into doing it. You know what I'm saying? You can start something in Final Fantasy 14 and come back like 6 months later and still be able to do it within like a week. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Like that's the thing about fucking Final Fantasy 11. Like Final Fantasy 11 is so time consuming. You start one thing in Final Fantasy 11 and then you wait like 6 months because you know you needed a break or whatever the fuck. You wait 6 months and then after those 6 months you come back to play the game. Now you're 12 months behind because you already did 6 months. Now you gotta do 6 months of actually doing that content in order to get to where you're trying to get. So it's like 11 doesn't respect your time, but because it doesn't respect your time, it gives you more things to do and a lot more fun with those things. With that being said, the hardest content in Final Fantasy 11 took over a year for anyone to fucking beat. In Final Fantasy 14, it took like 2 weeks. There's the difference. There's the difference. Yo, Tarkus, appreciate the 50 gifted, my boy. Going back to work? Yeah, take your ass back to work, bro. Don't let the mouse find out. And that's what's fucked up about 11 is that 11, while it's much more time consuming and a little bit more difficult, because of that, you have a lot more freedom in everything. Like it's not linear like Final Fantasy 14. You know what I'm saying? Like if you start Final Fantasy 14 right now, you can't do anything outside of A Realm Reborn until you actually get there. In Final Fantasy 11, if you start Final Fantasy 11, right now, you can go into Wings of the Goddess with very little content that needs to be done in order to get there. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even like the last expansion. The last expansion is like Rhapsodies of Vanadil. But that's a different story. You still have to like do some things in Final Fantasy 11, but you're not hard tied to that linear progression. You can immediately go in there and then jump into like an expansion if you wanted to. And that's like the difference between 11 and 14. It doesn't care for your time, but because it doesn't care for your time, it lets you do whatever the fuck you want to do. Yeah. You see me? Yeah, like there is so 11 is such a fucking phenomenal ass game, man. They really knocked that shit out the park with that game. That game is fucking ridiculous. What do you mean? None of this shit works. None of it works the way it's supposed to. Hello? What the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening? What? Dude, there's no way you're coming over here, right? All right. I suppose. What is this game? That's what was supposed to happen. I don't know why it didn't do that the first time, but you know, whatever. But yeah, as I was saying, you know, I really hate that the discourse on Final Fantasy currently is the same thing that it's always been. Oh, why can't Final Fantasy do turn-based? This turn-based game did really well. And it's like, brother, turn-based didn't really leave Final Fantasy until this, what, fucking 2 years ago now? Was when 16 came out? I think that's when 16 came out, was like 2023? At least that's what I want to say. I want to say 2023. And then people act like there isn't any other turn-based games out there. You know, like I guess fuck Dragon Quest, Bravely Default, fucking Persona. There's so many turn-based games came out and are still releasing. So like I don't understand like this weird obsession with like, brother, what the fuck are you looking at? I gotta get out of here, bro. This place isn't right. This place is fucked up. But it's like it's just the same shit over and over again, man. I'm sick of it, bro. I'm really sick of it. I'm tired of it. Yeah, Metaphor, Octopath, you know, so many, and a lot of them came from Square. Like a lot of them is coming from Square Enix, bro. Like, what are we doing, man? What the fuck are we doing? The fact that a lot of them are coming from Square Enix though is hilarious to me, because it's like you're crying about like no turn-based games, but like half of the turn-based market is Square Enix. Or you want to play Bravely Default again? Well, you can on the Switch too for $50, but you won't actually own the game. Or you can just emulate it for $3.99 and like technically you'll own the game forever. So I mean, really pick your poison at that point. But then again, it's not really poison if you emulate it, because you get to actually keep the fucking game. Okay, bro, you can die. I just need to talk to this guy. I would rather the rumor, because I don't really need anything else. But yeah, I really do wish like a lot of those, you know, Bravely Default, this just it needed to be on everything, man. That is definitely one of those games that needs to be on everything. Hell, now that I think about it, fucking Square Enix has a turn-based card game. I just thought about that. Yeah, that's kind of the, but then again, like it wasn't like Bravely Default was made like in-house at Square anyways. It was made by like another fucking team and they just published it, realistically speaking. I mean, technically it is their IP. And I think that company is now like a subsidiary, brother. Why do my brains just like fucking fumble over and stuff like that? Yeah, the Saga, brother, we just had a Saga game that came out too, and then we have another one that's gonna be releasing. So like, most of the turn-based games that are on the market currently that came out within like the last 10 years is all Square. Half of that market is Square Enix. So like, I don't know why we had to wait to 30 very passionate niggas to make a fucking turn-based game for niggas to be on the internet like, wow, this is what Final Fantasy could have been like. What are we talking about? It has been. Like, what the fuck? What happened to the NFTs? Didn't they get rid of that CEO that was pushing for that very hard and replace him with somebody else that's just like, hey, I was just like games? Speaking of Square, this is something that I didn't see anyone really talking about, but Square Enix, Capcom, and I think Konami, I want to say Konami, they all grouped up and they're pushing to preserve video games. So that's a very big fucking deal. And for whatever dumbass reason, I didn't see anyone talk about that. Speaking of fucking Capcom, Breath of Fire is back out. They just re-released it on GOG. So like, I hate these people. I hate the turn-based crowd. I hate them so much because all they do is just bullshit and lie and gaslight everybody. And then when people get mad, they be like, well, I don't know what you're mad about. Turn-based, blah, blah, blah. Look at this game. No, shut the fuck up, you dickhead. Like, just shut the fuck up, bro. Let's be fucking real here. Breath of Fire, I think it was Breath of Fire 4. They just re-released on GOG. That wasn't even like, nobody knew until the day of. And that was like, I think yesterday or today. Just came out. So like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about because like, this one